Good evening. It's December 11th, 2019. I will start by reading our vision statement. The Ashland Public Schools is a forward-thinking district that cultivates the academic and social-emotional growth of each student through a supportive, collaborative, innovative, and challenging environment. Students will develop into self-motivated, resilient, lifelong learners who embrace their role as responsible contributors to a global community. This meeting is being recorded by WACA Cable TV, and our order of business this evening includes our call to order, opening procedures, agenda review and adoption, recognitions, and student presentations. The Student Advisory Committee is going to be coming in next month. We'll have a moment for public comment. The administrative items include the AHS School Improvement Plan, FY20 budget adjustment from town meeting, transportation contract extension for FY21 and 22, superintendent's report, assistant superintendent's report, warrant approvals, student travel requests AHS to London, Paris, Lucerne, and Munich, April 2021, and consent actions approval of minutes November 13th, 2019, November 20, 2019, acceptance of gifts and donations, committee reports of activities, member updates, action items, and then we'll be moving to go into executive session under MGL Chapter 30A, Section 21A2, to conduct strategy sessions in preparation for negotiations with non-union personnel, or to conduct collective bargaining sessions or contract negotiations with non-union personnel. Superintendent James Adams, and MGL Chapter 30A, Section 21A3, to discuss strategy with respect to collective bargaining or litigation if an open meeting may have a detrimental effect on the bargaining or litigating position of the public body, and the chair so declares. Ashland Educator Association Unit A, teachers, with the intent of not returning to public session. And then we will adjourn. Any issues with the order of business this evening? Everybody okay with that?
Yep.
Sounds
Could
good.
we just move number 7 up under number 1?
Absolutely.
So, Ms. St. Kerr, is there any questions with the AHS trip?
Absolutely.
Great, thank you.
Everybody good with that?
Yes.
Okay, so we, the students are not here this evening. They're coming in January. I will put the request out there for public comment, but I don't see anybody here. So seeing none, I will invite Ms. St. Kerr to come up and tell us about the school improvement plan. Good evening.
Good evening, everybody. So you have what is a draft in front of you. Our site council will be finalizing the plan next week at our meeting. Our goals are all directly related to what the district blueprint, and we've modified to meet the needs of Ashland High School. Just to let you know, the strategic actions, the first several on each goal were developed by our faculty at a faculty meeting at the beginning of the school year, and as well as actions developed over the course of last spring and the beginning of this year with our site council. Our primary focus has been getting ready for accreditation through NEAS. We've aligned many of our actions with their standards, while always keeping the focus on what's best for students, recognizing where our strengths are and where we can improve. So we have spent the beginning of this year working our faculty in action, working on the action items in working groups. So I'll just highlight a couple of those. We've have group developing our vision of the graduate, developing a vision for a schedule that meets a variety of needs within the building for support and enrichment of students, streamlining communication with families and the community, and then moving forward with some of our traditional educational practices while looking to expand other opportunities for students. And so some of the things that we've accomplished or we are getting ready to approve of, we have a vision of the graduate and a proposed schedule change that will be presented by those working groups to our faculty tomorrow. And we've begun implementing some common English time within just our English department, and we're looking to expand and rotate the opportunities throughout our departments after getting feedback on how that is working just within the English department. We've been able to reconnect with Mass Bay Community College for some dual enrollment opportunities this year. And the primary focus is meeting the needs of students who are underserved and traditionally do not go on to college. And we're in the process, or we have scheduled some opportunity for students to do some more internships within the communities, building on some things we already have, but also looking for new opportunities, and bringing in some graduates to speak on opportunities they have had and share kind of some avenues that they've taken in the post-secondary to get to where they want to be. We're going to be hopefully using our schedule changes to bring them in to speak to students. We have one scheduled hopefully for the beginning of January. So that is our plan in a nutshell. If anyone has any questions?
Kelly, would you just explain the vision of a graduate, that
Sure.
piece? I think is important.
So as part of our accreditation process, the NEASC asks that every school community has a vision of the graduate where the entire community comes together to kind of say what is our goal for every student when they leave Ashland High School. So we did do a survey with the students, the staff, and the community. Our working group took all of that information and summarized it, and then came up with a very catchy phrase that we're hoping to use that kind of encompasses what our priorities are for our graduates. So after the whole faculty sees it tomorrow and hopefully approves it, we'll be moving it forward to other groups to see, hopefully looking for some students that have some skills in graphic design to maybe create a visual with it and then get it out to the public.
Any questions, comments?
So
Thank
will we see that?
You will see it, yes, once our faculty sees it.
Oh, great.
Yes.
After the fact.
Yes.
Yeah, after,
Yeah,
afterwards.
so soon.
Then we'll see the vision.
Yeah, I anticipate that it will be approved by the faculty tomorrow.
So I think it's important too, if you just want to highlight, if you remember the conversation we had years and years ago with regard to NEASC and the value of NEASC, and
Yeah.
you know where I stood 10 years
Right.
ago on this, was that I didn't think there was any value. I didn't think it really
Yeah.
increased teaching and learning. I didn't think it actually assisted us in moving our students forward and our faculty forward. I think the only thing that came out of the last report 11 years ago was our core values and our vision at the time at the high school. But they've done a lot of work, and I think Kelly has been a big part of like listening and being involved and making sure that Ashland that NEASC and the accreditation has value. So can you just touch base on that?
Yeah,
'Cause
I think
you've
one of the biggest changes that they have not asked schools to develop a plan specific to their standards. They want schools to take their own plans and see how they can apply the standards to what you're already doing within the school. And that's why in some places within here you'll see it, principle 1.2, that's a standard or principle from the NEASC standards. And they've also encouraged schools to really only be focusing on the things that are priority areas. They're not going to come in and say that we need to have a big report on our building, because they know that our building is in good shape, and that's not. So when they come in May, they are only going to be focusing on the areas that we decided with them collaboratively 2 Mays ago were our priority areas, which were developing a vision for the graduate, looking at a schedule that provides equity for all students, and expanding opportunities for outside of the classroom.
And if everybody remembers, we usually approve these in the spring. It's kind of the final work at the end of the year from the school improvement groups, but we were waiting for the blueprint to be finalized so that the group could make sure that the goals were in line. And so, because I do sit with that group when I'm able to make it as liaison from this committee, the final look at it was to make sure that everything aligned with our group. And what's great about the group, they're a great bunch of people, teachers and administrators and parents, but the student voice on that group is really phenomenal. At the high school level, they really have a lot of interesting things to add that I think add a lot of value to the conversation.
Right, I agree.
As well as,
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good to hear.
yeah. So thank you very much.
welcome.
Any other questions, comments? Thanks,
All right.
Kelly.
Thanks, Kelly.
And then on the
Stay
trip,
here.
Yeah, just stay
just
with
in
the
case
trip.
there's any questions, I know we take this trip yearly.
Every other year
Every
Mr.
other
McGann,
year?
yeah, every
Yeah.
other year Mr. McGann pulls together a trip to Europe. Traditionally, it's been to a French-speaking country, England as well, but in Spain for the most part. And this is the first year but he's run the trip, so it's his 4th trip,
It's his 4th trip,
and
and he's
first time-
working with Christina Marshall, who is
Okay.
one of our history teachers this year, which is why they're interested in adding Germany.
Yep.
She teaches the history of genocide class. So
Excellent. Anyone have any comments or concerns about that? Just need to approve the trip. Can we have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Excellent.
Great.
Okay. Thank you, Kelly. You're
you.
all set. The budget adjustment from town meeting FY '20.
Yeah, so as you know, at town meeting, we adjust based on our policy that we set with the town and the select board and finance committee is when the final governor's budget's approved in the summer, which was late July again this year. We go back and we look at the numbers that impact the budget that was approved in May at town meeting, and then we split the 70-30 depending upon, so chapter 70 money increased, our key tech assessment went down, so those numbers get adjusted, and the net effect was $132,827 coming to the Ashland Public Schools, add on to their our operating budget. So what you have to approve is our bottom line, our new bottom line FY '20 operating number is $33,284,474.
We have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And I'll just make one note, we haven't appropriated that funding to specific areas yet, and we will come back after, when we see how things flow over the next month or two. We've just been number of students have come into the community in the last month and a half that we may have cost shares with other districts, so that may impact some out-of-district costs as well.
Okay, excellent. Transportation contract, FY '21, FY '22.
Yeah, so we have some options on our contract that we signed with Connolly, and Ms. Duran and I sat down and looked at the current increase for the next 2 years, so FY '21 and FY '22, and it comes out to be a 1% increase in our costs, and we feel very confidently that if we didn't exercise our options, it's going to come in a lot higher. And so if you remember when we talked about the transportation 3 years ago when we signed, we had the 5-year, that the biggest cost was up front. And then because the way Connolly and other transportation companies look at their budgets and their contracts, we're heavy loaded 1 year, the next year, so their cycles are different. Hopkinton may get it the next year in terms of the way their revenue stream. So we would like you to approve the next 2 years extending the contract for 21 and 22.
And you said they're 1% increase per year?
Yeah, they're 1%. Just about 1%, a little bit. The second year is actually a little less than 1%.
And not doing it exposes us to likely.
Well, we would
greater-
have to open it up,
yeah.
and we believe it would be more significant increase for sure. Yeah.
Okay. Any questions or comments?
Jim,
Sounds
just
good.
given that this is a negotiation point or like a renegotiation, is it opportune time to potentially ask for that bus software again? I mean, it's like.
Well, they've given us we
have the option.
we have the option of adding it. If you look, it's an additional $683.76 per unit per bus, and that's just the monitoring. I'd have to go back and look. I mean, we can exercise the initial piece because we did not take the alternate that we had the add-on. So we'd have to go back and ask to see what that price is now. It's different because we didn't agree to that
Right.
initially.
I think it is worth it, and especially in light of the fact that we may be doing some major construction on 135 in the next couple of years, and
Yeah.
a lot of bus delays. I think the GPS software would be, and obviously.
So we're actually, Aaron, myself, and Karen Johnson are in discussions as part of the budget process, not necessarily going with what Connolly has as part of their package, but another software system that can track. So, and has other functions that will help Aaron out in the deployment of our buses and bus stops and things of that
Right,
nature.
all the stuff that she
So
does.
we are looking at that, but not necessarily part of this package.
Okay.
Yeah, it'll be part of, she submitted that as part of the budget.
Okay,
Yep.
great.
Because the numbers here at the bottom, it's almost double, isn't it, per bus? if we were to add the GPS monitoring. $683.76 per bus,
Correct.
right?
Yeah.
And it's $379
How many buses we have?
Right.
11?
We have 19. Yeah.
times per bus.
Yeah. So that's about $14,000.
Yeah. Anyway, but that's good. That's
Yep.
good to hear that you're,
You have
But-
something else
an
that you
We have
alternative.
something else that,
Okay,
that
that
they,
sounds
they
good.
like
That
better,
sounds promising.
to
Yeah.
be honest,
Okay.
and it'll be,
Does it require
like it would
Connolly
be
to agree
our
to
concern.
anything for us? Like, did they have to have like a dongle or something on their bus for it to work?
I don't remember, but I don't think they had an issue with it. I think, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so, but we're still investigating.
Yeah,
Let's
we
leave
can-
it
we
at
can-
that.
We
Sounds
think hopefully for next fall.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, it will be part of the budget ask for FY '21. Right.
Excellent. Who wants to make the motion?
It's actually based on students, and it filters into our student management software system as well, so.
I will move to approve extending the school bus transportation contract with Michael J. Connolly and Sons for 2 additional years through FY '22.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, do we have a superintendent's report this evening?
We don't, I'll let Mr. Kendall tell you what we've been doing, and he gets to his report
I mean, at the end?
at the end.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Do we have an
'Cause it's all
assistant
been in the town.
superintendent's report?
I yield my time.
You yield your time.
We had a snow day.
Yeah,
You're welcome, Rachel.
yeah.
Thank you.
Do we have any warrant approvals tonight,
We
Mrs.
do.
Gates? Okay.
Let me call up my email that has it. There it is.
Ready?
Between October 23rd, 2019 and December 6th, 2019, I, Kathleen Bates, authorized by my signature, payables in the amount of $1,018,548.62. This includes general fund expenses of $755,722.96, revolving expenses of $224,300.56, and grant expenses of $38,296.53. Meals tax expenses of $228.57. Finally, I authorize payroll in the amount of $2,221,360.82.
Thanks, Kathy.
You're welcome.
We have 2 sets of minutes. Does anyone have anything on November 13th minutes?
Just my name is spelled Rachael.
Thank you, Rachel.
First time all year.
It's
Yeah.
okay.
You're wrong.
It happens all the time.
Yeah.
At least you're Rachel this time.
Yeah. Thank you for catching that.
Picky.
So do we have a motion to approve those minutes of November 13th?
Yes, so moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And then November 20th, any issues there?
Same
Same
thing.
thing?
with my name. Yeah.
Yes, thank you, Rachel. Anything else?
Oh, she wasn't there.
Okay.
I didn't misspell it because she's not on there.
Okay.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yep,
Not
no,
That was
I
the day
not
before
there.
town meeting.
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
town meeting night.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I didn't misspell it.
But he would have.
No, I would not have.
Who wants to move to accept those minutes?
But Rachel Dunn was spelled properly.
Yeah.
That's why you
Oh,
saw the
that's
Rachel
right.
in there.
Do we have a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any gifts and donations?
We
this
do
evening?
have some. So, Ashland K-12 PTO, $512.50, the grade 4 field trip to Lowell Mills. Ashland K-12 PTO, $1,350, again, for the field trip to Lowell Mills. Ashland K-12 PTO, $129, Warren School Art. Anonymous, $500 to Helping Our Own Fund. Kim and Nathan Draper, $100 to Helping Our Own Fund. And Looters Environmental, we do it every year, they send a $50 miscellaneous gift to the district for a total of $2,641.50.
Wonderful.
Who is Looters?
Looters is a science, I always forget it's a science company,
Oh,
and they donate $50 every single year.
Nice. Do we have a motion to accept the gifts and donations?
So moved.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Excellent. Okay, Rachel, member updates?
Pretty excited about football's win.
Woo-hoo!
Yeah,
That was awesome.
great.
Yeah.
So much fun.
Yeah.
And other than that, looking forward to hearing back from Villanova and Christmas break.
Yeah, it's right around the
I
corner.
know.
That's great. And will you hear over the break, do you think?
Hopefully tomorrow.
Oh, tomorrow.
Hopefully, yep.
Well,
So
Let us
fingers
know.
crossed.
Yes, we wish you the best of
Yes.
luck.
Thank you.
What'd you hear?
Hopefully tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Yeah,
Did you play early?
Early decision.
excellent. Paul?
So, I think a couple of us were over at the high school today for congratulations to Coach McKay for getting the Patriots High School Coach of the Year award today. So that was pretty cool. And again, also congratulations to the football team for a great season. And let's see, since we last met, I'm trying to look at what was going on. We did have the building committee had a public forum that centered on sustainability, security, and the conceptual designs that we've seen before. Interestingly, most of the comments and questions came about sustainability, which was interesting. Today was the submission for the preliminary design program, which is the first meet submission to the MSBA. So where the first draft of the ed plan that we've reviewed here goes before them, and also a shorter list of options. And so just the options that we put forward for further consideration, the building committee, we obviously had to do the code review. We selected the ad reno, if you recall, the one that was more on the easterly side and with a kind of curve to it. We submitted that with and all these have 2 enrollments because we haven't decided on the enrollment options. And then the more centered version of a new construction at Mendez, and then one of the further back in the corner at the middle school is the ones that they chose to submit. So that should go in today, or went in today. And let's see what else. That's about it.
Thank you. Erin?
Town meeting. I don't think we've had
We haven't, no,
Yeah.
because Thanksgiving.
Yep.
town meeting.
Yep.
Thanksgiving football and good job, Clockers.
That's it.
Amazing. Kathy?
Nope, that's
Same?
same.
Ditto,
Yeah.
ditto?
Ditto, ditto.
Same, ditto, ditto.
Wow,
All the stuff, it's all good.
it is all good.
So, okay, action items, nothing's changed.
Changed.
And I'm gonna leave it at that rather than read the whole list again,
Yep.
if that's okay with everybody.
Sure.
And we need a motion to enter into an executive session, please.
Move to enter an
Well,
executive.
I think you wanna do that one, Lori, because it covers the,
I need to read that again, even if I
yeah,
did the
you've
first
got,
time.
if you make the motion, then it covers your declaration that's required for
Okay.
the collective.
So I move that we enter into executive session under, again, MGL Chapter 30A S 21A2, and then reading all of it, or just listing the,
Yeah.
okay.
Read it all, yeah.
Again, okay, to conduct strategy sessions in preparation for negotiations with non-union personnel, or to conduct collective bargaining sessions or contract negotiations with non-union personnel, Superintendent James Adams, and MGL Chapter 30A, Section 21A3, to discuss strategy with respect to collective bargaining or litigation if an open meeting may have a detrimental effect on the bargaining or litigating position of the public body, and the chair so declares, Ashland Educators Association, Unit A, teachers, with the intent of not returning to public session.
Second.
And then we need a roll.
Oh, yeah. Earl. Not Rachel. Paul.
Yes.
Yes.
Erin. Yes.
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
thank you. Not to return into open session, did I say that?